Some of the greatest victories in history were never announced. No trumpets sounded, no banners unfurled, only quiet men walking away, their enemies none the wiser that they had already lost. Because real power does not always roar. Sometimes it simply waits. In a world addicted to reaction, to defending every opinion, to proving every point, silence has become the rarest and most threatening form of strength. Strategic restraint is not passivity. It is an art form, a technique that has broken kingdoms, ended careers, and rewritten alliances, all without raising a single voice. It's the discipline of those who understand one unshakable law, that silence unsettles the loud, disarms the reckless, and amplifies the one who controls it. Today, we explore that hidden weapon, the power of strategic restraint. The kind of silence Machiavelli would have admired, Marcus Aurelius would have practiced, and every great manipulator has feared. Because victory doesn't always come from attack. It often comes from the patience to not react at all. Power doesn't begin when you control others. It begins the moment you control yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But what he meant goes far beyond serenity. It was a warning that every time you react, you hand over the strings of your mind to someone else. Restraint, then, is not the absence of power. It is its origin. In the Roman Senate, disputes often escalated into performances of outrage. Senators would shout, gesticulate, and insult each other to display dominance. Yet among them, there were those who stayed utterly calm, speaking less, moving less, observing more. And in that stillness, they commanded the room. Because silence, when chosen, is not submission. It is control disguised as passivity. It is an act of containment, holding back what could destroy you until it becomes something that serves you. To master restraint is to understand that emotion is a resource, finite, powerful, and easily stolen. Every reaction you give freely becomes a tool for someone else's use. Anger becomes ammunition. Defensiveness becomes evidence. Noise becomes a map of your weaknesses. The disciplined mind refuses to be predictable. This is why Machiavelli, centuries later, advised rulers to be both fox and lion, to appear calm even when plotting war. He knew that the leader who can endure silence during chaos possesses the rarest form of strength, the ability to dictate timing. And timing, more than talent or aggression, is what separates the powerful from the desperate.
Restraint, in its highest form, is not about holding back impulses out of fear. It's about choosing when and how to deploy them for maximum effect. It's patience sharpened into a blade. Consider a chess grandmaster. He doesn't rush to attack at every opportunity. He watches, he waits, he calculates. Each move is measured, deliberate, and sometimes purposefully delayed. Because every pause unnerves the impatient. Every silence draws mistakes out of the loud. Psychologically, restraint weaponizes uncertainty. Humans are addicted to response, to closure. When you don't give it to them, they fill in the blanks. They start to project, imagining motives, emotions, intentions. And in that projection, they expose their own. That's the paradox of restraint. The less you show, the more others reveal. Restraint also reframes power as endurance, not dominance. It's the art of withstanding provocation without losing composure. In the Stoic world, this wasn't a luxury. It was survival. The man who could remain calm under insult was untouchable, because no one could dictate his inner state. To the undisciplined, silence feels like defeat. To the wise, it is the sound of strategy unfolding. Even in modern warfare, intelligence agencies understand the principle of controlled silence. The agent who reveals too much, too soon, dies first. The one who speaks less survives longer, because silence creates asymmetry. The less you give, the more you gain. Restraint isn't about muting yourself. It's about mastering the intervals between words, the spaces between reactions, the pauses that make others lose balance. And that is where power truly begins. Not in domination, not in deception, but in the ability to stay still while others burn themselves out in noise.
History remembers conquerors, but it's the silent ones who shaped the world from behind the veil. Their power didn't come from armies or titles. It came from composure. They understood that control over words is control over perception, and that every silence can be weaponized. In the court of ancient China, during the Warring States period, a strategist named Zhang Liang served under Emperor Gaozu of Han. Jiang rarely spoke. When his rivals mocked his quietness, the emperor asked, "Why do you let them speak so freely while you stay still?" Jiang replied, "Because the more a man talks, the more of himself he gives away. I prefer to know others, not be known by them." That answer marked him as dangerous, not because he was loud, but because he was unknowable. Silence made him unpredictable, and unpredictability in the game of power is protection. The Stoics saw this too. To them, silence was not merely the absence of speech, it was the presence of thought. Epictetus warned his students, "Be mostly silent, or speak only what is necessary." He understood that emotion and speech are intertwined. To master one, you must first master the other. Because to speak is to react, and to react is to surrender. In the ancient world, those who commanded silence commanded fear. Think of Marcus Aurelius, an emperor surrounded by chaos, rebellion, and betrayal, yet never seen raising his voice. His restraint disarmed enemies more effectively than a sword. To his soldiers, that calmness under pressure was godlike. To his rivals, it was unsettling. Because anger is readable, silence is not.
Then there was the infamous Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general who humiliated Rome itself. His power wasn't only in his strategy, but in his psychological silence. Before battle, he would stand motionless before his men and enemies alike, saying nothing. His stillness, his quiet confidence, carried the weight of inevitability. Soldiers feared him not because of his words, but because they never knew what he was thinking. That is the paradox of silence in power. It amplifies the imagination of others. The less you say, the more people fill in the gaps, and what they imagine is often far greater, far darker than the truth. Even in Greek philosophy, this was seen as the mark of wisdom. Pythagoras demanded his disciples take a vow of silence for 5 years before they were allowed to speak in his presence. He believed that the tongue was the first obstacle to understanding, that wisdom cannot flow through a mind still addicted to hearing itself. Every era has had its silent strategists, those who understood that the loudest person in the room often holds the least control. In Machiavellian terms, silence is the ultimate disguise. When you do not react, others cannot measure you. When you don't reveal your opinions, others expose theirs. And when you do speak, your words carry weight because they are rare. This is the art of strategic absence, the same power that allows a ruler to appear uninvolved while orchestrating everything behind the curtain. Even today, leaders, negotiators, and spies use this ancient technique. They let silence hang in the air, knowing that humans are so uncomfortable with it that they rush to fill it, often with truths they should have kept hidden. The Stoics, the generals, the philosophers, all came to the same conclusion. He who can hold silence holds dominance over himself and eventually over others. Because silence is not emptiness, it's a mirror, and in that mirror, the unguarded reveal themselves. In modern terms, silence triggers psychological discomfort. Humans crave completion of conversations, arguments, and unresolved tension. When you don't give them closure, they chase it. They keep speaking, over-explaining, revealing the truth you didn't need to ask for. Negotiators use this instinct constantly. A pause after a counter-offer forces the other side to fill the gap, often lowering their own price or confessing their real motives. In relationships, silence exposes insecurity. The one who demands constant reassurance reveals dependence. The one who waits reveals strength. Psychologically, silence is perceived as superiority, not because it's loud, but because it's unmoved. It signals emotional control, which translates subconsciously into social dominance. But restraint is not easy.
It requires the strength to be misunderstood, to let others misjudge you while you collect information, while you conserve energy, while you prepare. As Robert Greene wrote in the 48 Laws of Power, by saying less, you appear greater and more powerful. Every reaction costs you leverage. Every silence buys you insight. The master strategist understands that words are currency, and the more you spend, the poorer you become.
In the digital age, silence has become rebellion. Every opinion demands the response. Every insult wants a retweet. But every reaction feeds the system and weakens. They are thinkers, leaders, creators who know that attention is power. They do not chase the argument, they let it exhaust itself. Think of corporate negotiations. The executive who pauses before answering gains time to measure the room. The political leader who ignores provocation appears unshakable. The artist who vanishes at the height of fame becomes myth, not memory. In each case, restraint shapes perception. It builds mystery, authority, and influence. To remain silent is to remain unpredictable. Unpredictability is the purest form of control.
Victory through restraint is not about avoiding conflict. It's about transcending it. The world rewards reaction, but the wise know that every reaction ties you tighter to the thing that provoked you. Every time you withhold your response, you reclaim yourself. So hold your silence when they expect your words. Wait when they demand your rush. Observe when they beg your participation. Because in that stillness lies the true battlefield, the one fought not with swords or speeches, but with discipline. Strategic restraint is not weakness. It's the hidden rhythm of all lasting power. The kind that wins wars no one ever hears about, and crowns no one ever sees coming.